Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for March 25th. March 25th is the 84th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 85th in leap years, with 281 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is machine. Machine is usually a noun, but can also be a verb. As a noun, machine means a mechanically, electrically, or electronically operated device for performing a task. A conveyance or vehicle, especially like an automobile, a coin-operated device, an assemblage of parts that transmits forces, motion, and energy one to another in a predetermined manner, an instrument designed to transmit or modify the application of power, force, or motion. Your computer is considered a machine. Machine can also mean someone or something that resembles a machine, as in being methodical, tireless, or consistently productive. A highly organized political group under leadership of a boss may also be called a machine. As a verb, machine means to process by or as if by a machine. For example, to alter a finish by turning, shaping, planing, or milling. That's called machining. The word machine comes to us from Middle French, Latin before that, Greek before that. First known use of the word machine as a noun is 1545 and as a verb in 1853. Machine. And with that, you might be aware of the city of Venice, Italy, famous for its waterways and gondolas. Venice is located in northeastern Italy and is built on a group of 118 small islands in the shallow Venetian lagoon between the mouths of two ancient rivers. The islands of Venice are separated by canals and linked by over 400 bridges. We mention this today because while the area is known to have been inhabited by fishermen since way before people began keeping records, Venice is considered to have been founded on March 25th in the year 421 with the dedication of the San Giacomo di Rialto Church, the first church on the islet of Rialto. Saturn's largest moon, Titan, was discovered by Dutch astronomer Christian Huygens on March 25, 1655. My goodness, there have been so many birthdays on March 25th, many of them singers and musicians you've probably heard of. I've certainly mentioned some of them along with other events in previous episodes for March 25th, and I will leave links to those episodes if you'd like to see some of them. For now, we're going to continue on with March 25th, 1948, when the first successful tornado forecast predicted that a tornado would strike the Tinker Air Force Base in Oklahoma. Weather forecasting was still fairly primitive in 1948, especially compared to today's technology and abilities. A tornado had hit Tinker just a few days earlier on March 20th of that year. Then on March 25th, meteorologists noticed nearly identical weather conditions as what had occurred on the 20th and issued a tornado forecast. This forecast was confirmed when the tornado struck the base again on the evening of the 25th, making it the first official tornado forecast and the first successful tornado forecast in recorded history. Incidentally, the first tornado on the 20th caused about $10 million in damage, and the one on the 25th about $6 million in damage, for an estimated total of about $16 million in damage, and that's $1948. Adjusting for inflation, that would be almost $200 million in 2023 dollars. Prior to this event, the Weather Bureau had a policy against issuing tornado forecasts or warnings because they were worried that the public would panic. But with the knowledge gained in this series of events, meteorologists involved issued forecasts every time they saw the conditions setting up. In the following year, 1949, they issued 18 forecasts within a 100 square mile area, and all 18 forecasts proved successful. There was a tornado for each one of them. and eventually the Weather Bureau allowed the public to be informed when the potential for tornadoes was seen. And on March 25, 1965, the Civil Rights March led by Martin Luther King Jr. successfully completed the 4-day, 50-mile march from Selma, Alabama, to the Capitol in Montgomery. Today's song is Happy Together by the Turtles, beginning its first of 3 weeks in that #1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100 on March 25, 1967. Written by Gary Bonner and Alan Gordon, Happy Together was the Turtles' first and only #1 song in the U.S. It also reached the top 20 in a number of other countries. The early success of Happy Together led to spots on The Ed Sullivan Show and The Smothers Brothers Show and has been covered by other artists, including the Captain and Tennille, as well as being featured in movies and on television shows, giving this song a place as one of the most performed songs in the United States in the 20th century. The vast popularity of the song Happy Together also led to legal battles over copyright permissions and unauthorized broadcasts. So I won't be singing it for you here today. A sweet song with a good sound, Happy Together by the Turtles, #1 on March 25th, 1967. Link in the description. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with the link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include the link to my blog page that is called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, Parler, BitChute, and Getter. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Do not disturb.
Okay, I turned Do Not Disturb on.
Good job. Third time better be a charm. One more time. January 2nd. The 16th. It's all written in Roman numerals, so I had to translate it. Flinging happiness all over the place. Alrighty. Back to work. I think we got it this time.